This is our dress. This is how it looks like now, and I've put a hem. This is called a picot hem. I decided to put the picot hem, but you can decide just to steam it and leave it as it is, or you can decide to crochet around it to give it a crochet finishing, but I decided to do a picot hem. Let me hope you can see these little designs down here. This is what is called a picot. Now I did one part, the front part of the dress. I'm going to show you how it's done on the back. This is our back, and you're going to put it back on the machine, on the needles, and let me come back when all the needles have fabric. Thank you. This is how we put back the fabric on the machine. Make sure you don't get heavy material, just get a little to hold onto the needles, because if you get big part of this, the carriage won't go through. This is called the carriage, and if you get a very thick material onto the needles, when you're passing through the carriage, it will get stuck, and that's not what you want. So we keep doing that until we reach here, because this is already done. I'll show you the next. We are done putting back our dress onto the needles. Now we are going to knit. I'm going to pass over the carriage. So those are 2 rows. We are going to do 20 rows. Then I'll show you what to do next. So those are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we are done with our 20 rows. Now come closer. Here I'm going to be transferring every second. I'm going to be skipping 2 needles, and I transfer the 3rd needle onto the next needle, just like this. I transfer the 3rd stitch onto the next needle. This is 1, 2, 3, the 3rd stitch onto the next, just like that. So it means that I'm leaving 2 needles into the knitting position, but we just do it as if we are doing eyelets, and we shall bring back these needles into the knitting position. Yeah. So let's keep transferring the 3rd needle onto the next needle. But you can also transfer every other needle onto the other needle. I just decided to do 2, but you can decide to do 1. you transfer one needle to the next needle. It's okay, it will even make a better picot, but I decided to do this. So it's up to you, your preference. So we are about to reach the end, and that's it. These are 3, but it's okay. Now these needles that we've just transferred, we bring them back to the knitting position, and now we are going to do 20 more rows. 20 rows. So those are 20, and you can see these eyelets here are the ones going to do the picot, to do this design here. And you can use this design for sweater bands, skirts, anything you want. So now it's time to fold again. We are folding as usual. And I will come and show you how the next stage. Okay. This is how we do the folding. Remember, I told you when you're folding, so don't get this part here and put it back on the machine. The carriage, you'll find it hard to move. So you go to the very first row that you made, the very first row, and you pick a stitch and put it back onto the machine. As simple as that. Just pick a stitch, the very first row of what you made, and you put it back onto your machine. Okay, now let me do that until I come to this point, then we shall see what to do next. Okay, now our fabric is back onto the machine. Now I'm going to knit twice in tension 7, 1 and 2. This is a bit hard because of the folded material. Now I change the tension to 10, knitting twice, and that's it. We are going to cast off. Here's my hook. We are going to cast off. By now I think you know that turns. There is casting on and this is casting off. Casting on is putting the yarn onto the needles, ready to start knitting. Casting off is removing the knitted fabric off the machine. And yeah, our dress is almost done. So let me cast off until the end because it's the same thing. I'm going to do the same thing up to this point, then I'll show you how it looks like. Now I'm done with the picot on both sides, and this is how it looks like. Now I'm going to join the two parts. When joining, I'm using this darning needle or a yarn needle. So this is how I do it. I'm going to be joining these two parts first, like this. You can either use a sewing machine or anything you're comfortable with, so long as you come to the same thing. To use the darning needle for a finish neat look, just do like this. So you keep joining these two sides. Now when you reach here, just pick stitches like this. You want to make sure that the seams are neatly done. Yeah. You have to close this hole. And that's it. So I'm going to pull this tail inside here, and that's it. So you see how neat it is inside and out. So you do that even to this other side, and voila, our dress is done. Yay!